They tied it, they cut its throat, and yet it stood up, bleeding, eyes burning red, and walked away. This is the story of the goat who refused to die. What the villagers saw that day, nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever forgotten. It happened in the quiet farming village of Nkuru, deep in eastern Nigeria. A small community surrounded by tall palm trees, red earth, and stories that live longer than the people who tell them. Every year, they held the New Yam Festival, and as tradition demanded, a pure white goat had to be sacrificed to thank the gods of the land. But that year, something strange happened. The goat chosen was unlike any they had ever seen. It didn't bleat, it didn't struggle, it just stared, with eyes that seemed almost human. And what happened after the blade fell? It would make the entire village question if animals can carry souls. When the elders gathered, the chief priest raised his knife, said the prayers, and struck. But instead of falling, the goat let out a scream. Not a normal scream, but one that sounded like a man crying out in pain. The villagers froze. Blood spilled, yet the goat didn't die. It staggered, turned toward the crowd, and began to walk. Some said it called someone's name before collapsing. Others swore they saw tears running from its eyes. Panic spread like wildfire. People shouted, "It's a spirit! It's a curse!" Children ran. Even the priest dropped his knife. But here's where it gets truly strange. The next morning, when they searched for the goat's body, it was gone. That night, several villagers reported hearing footsteps outside their huts. A soft tap, tap sound, followed by a low bleating voice near their windows. One woman claimed she saw a shadow, the shape of a goat standing upright, staring at her door before vanishing into thin air. Then came the dreams. Almost everyone dreamt of the same thing, a bleeding goat walking through the village, whispering, "You have killed me wrongly." By dawn, the elders knew this wasn't ordinary. They called a diviner who said something that chilled everyone. That goat was not a goat. It was a man who offended the gods and came back in animal form. You have killed a spirit that cannot die twice. And just when they thought it was over, the goats in the village began to disappear, one after another. The villagers panicked. The crops dried up. Children fell sick. People whispered that the spirit of the goat was taking revenge. The chief priest tried another ritual, this time with palm wine, cola nut, and alligator pepper. As he chanted, the sky darkened, thunder rolled, and a voice echoed across the shrine. You cannot kill what is already dead. Everyone fell to the ground. The priest confessed that the goat belonged to an old hunter, a man who vanished years ago after breaking a sacred oath. The gods had turned him into a goat to wander until someone pure-hearted sacrificed him correctly. But the priest had used the wrong chance and unleashed his restless spirit. The priest finally performed the right ritual at the riverbank. He poured libation and said, "Let the one who refused to die now find rest." And as the last drop of palm wine touched the water, a white goat appeared out of nowhere, bowed its head, and vanished. Since that day, no one in Nkuru kills a goat without saying a short prayer first. They call it Ewu Nu, the goat of life. Some say it was just superstition. Others believe it was proof that souls can cross forms, man to beast, life to death. But tell me, if you saw a goat stand up after being slaughtered, would you still call it just a story? If this legend gave you chills, hit like, subscribe, and share this story. Because next time, our story will blow your mind. And trust me, that one will be even darker.